Hello, down here, and welcome to another anime recommendation video. For this one, I'm going to be talking about a pretty recent anime called Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it. First off, let's just get started with, of course, the summary, which I'm not going to put anything up, but it's pretty straightforward. It's about two science majors that are in college, and they're trying to prove that they love each other scientifically, and then they drag in their classmates or lab mates, however you want to put it, into the experiments. That is basically the whole anime. And I just want to say that I immediately loved it from the very first episode. Like, it's just extreme, very, very hilarious. And before I get into any of that, I want to talk about how every character has their own unique characteristics that makes each one, well, special or unique. So let's talk about the main two characters. Himuro, who is the female protagonist, and she has the intelligent yet beautiful kind of characteristic. And of course, she loves the male protagonist, which we'll get to, or trying to prove that she does. And one of the things that just immediately caught my eye was whenever she's like excited about something, her little ponytail in the back just starts wagging like a tail, and it's just the most adorable thing ever. Now, of course, I don't get into too much because there is some backstory with her that is talked about later in the anime, so I don't want to talk about that because I want to get people to watch it. Otherwise, what will be the point of watching it if you already know about her backstory? The next character is obviously the male protagonist, who is Yukimura. Did I say that right? Yukimura, who is like intelligent, yet he's pretty dense about a lot of things, which is kind of fun, kind of like a main characteristic about the stereotypical genius, that they're dense about like everyday common human things like love. And of course, he loves Himuro. Or like I said with Himuro, trying to prove that he loves Himuro. And he likes being very accurate and literal all the time. Like trying to, like for everything, it's always about science, about trying to prove how something is like this or something like that. But that kind of adds to the fun of his character. And most of the time he ends up getting hit in the head a lot by Himuro when he acts in his dense way. Though Himuro sometimes joins him in some stuff, but when Yukimura takes it too far, then she hits him with however many newtons of force. And yes, that is the thing. Every time Yukimura gets hit by Himuro, they tell you how much force is used to hit him, which I think is a nice added little touch. Okay, the next character is Kanade, which is basically the only normal character in this batch of characters, because she's like a breath of fresh air compared to all these crazy characters. She's the only one with common sense when it comes to, society and love. And she also likes to call people out on their bullshit in her head most of the time. But no, she's just like the normal character, but she kind of adds to it because there's so many crazy characters. So she's not a boring character because she's normal. She's just like the one that actually stands out among the rest of them because she's the only normal one. This next character is honestly one of my favorites, and that is Ibarata. And she was immediately my waifu or by the time you see this, it'll be the next anime season, but the previous anime season, the winter 2020 anime season. And despite how she looks, she is actually the oldest of the group, not including the instructor, obviously. So she is basically the senpai of that entire group. I think she's in her last year there. And I think Kanade and another character are the youngest. I may have that wrong about Kanade, but I know one of them is for sure the youngest. And one thing I really like about her is that she encourages people, but she teases she teases people at the same time while trying to encourage them. So I don't know. I just really like that characteristic about her. And a big characteristic that I really like is that she is a goddamn gamer. Like, you're very first introduced to her, she's literally laying on the floor playing games. That's literally the first time you see her, and she is constantly playing games all the time, and I just really like that. She's just one of my favorite. One of my favorites from this. The next character has a connection to Ibarata. There's Ibarata, and that is Inakai, and he is the weeb / otaku of the group. He's obsessed with dating sims, and the funny thing is that his 2D waifu Aika actually looks a bit like Ibarata, and they make that connection quite a bit of times. And yeah, the connection is that they are technically they're childhood friends. He has childhood friends with Ibarata, and when I say she teases people, it's most of the time him. About stuff that happened in their childhood. Now the next one is the instructor, who is Ikeda. I may have said that wrong, but I don't care. And the best way to describe him is he is the bodybuilder instructor. He is the brains and brawn. He is a gentle giant most of the time. But of course, when you upset him, you know immediately that you fucked up. That's all I'm going to talk about with the characters. Honestly, the characters are kind of like the biggest thing that I really like about this anime, because they're so different, each of them, and they kind of go along together in a weird way. But now I'm going to say that the opening for the anime fits way too well with the song itself and the animation for the opening. It just fits way too well with this anime. And the ED and the ending theme, it's got to be my favorite ending theme in all of anime, because it's so catchy. And then if you go to the actual music video, it's so freaking adorable. It's a song that would constantly get stuck in my head, and I just can't help but like smile when I'm hearing it or watching it or such and such. It's just one of my favorite ending themes in anime of all time. And now, just to wrap this up, this anime is basically one of my most favorites from this winter 2019-2020 anime season. Besides the interspecies reviewers, but not including that, or not including like sequels or anything, or spin-offs or anything like that. This has got to be one of my favorites. And definitely it is. And to answer the question of the title, it is definitely my new favorite rom-com anime. So I encourage everyone to at least check it out. So I hope you did enjoy this and my recommendation video. If you did, why not check out some of my other recommendation videos, whether it be anime, manga, maybe light novel. I think I have one up for that right now. And subscribe if you're new, I guess. Like if you did enjoy, and I hope to see y'all next time. Bye-bye.